What's up, everybody?
Hey, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You guys like our gingerbread men? We're celebrating.
Yeah, they're pretty cute, actually.
We stayed out of the eggnog, though, y'all. This time.
Well, speak for yourself.
Okay. All right. I speak for myself.
Well, I was in the eggnog.
So. All right. Well, to each their own. You guys, we've got some pretty epic, amazing things coming your way this hour. I know this is an unscheduled, unannounced live, but I hope you guys join us. And
Thank you for tuning in and joining this broadcast.
Indeed. First and foremost, a big announcement from OG. I want everybody to say a big welcome hello to Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin is joining our OG family here. You'll be seeing more from him and hearing more about him from us. Kevin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Kevin, and I'm really happy to be engaged. I really just a blue collar guy that had the opportunity to help out, and I want to encourage to support them. They've done some really beautiful things for people that really need help, and I brought my wife and kids here. I'm pretty proud to be a part and accept it. So thank you so much, and I'm gonna help. That's all I want to do.
And we're really happy to have you.
We are so happy to have you. Welcome him to the OG family, you guys.
Yes,
thanks for having me, guys.
He's officially OG family now. I think he even gets one of the t-shirts and everything.
Yep, he's on the team. He's on the team.
It's inked. We're good.
Yeah, he's on the team.
I think the thing that is most important for us when people join our family here is that they share the mission and the values that we have as a company in being patients first and foremost, and working and striving to bring high quality medicine at an affordable price. And Kevin jumped right on board with that mission and understood what we were trying to do. And it was important for us when we accept people from the community into our family that, they're going to be a good fit. So we're really excited about having you. And
thank you for being a
you'll
part
be seeing
of
more of Kevin as the journey goes on.
Look forward to seeing a lot more of him.
Yeah,
I'm pretty dope. So
just saying.
Yeah, you got a good friend.
We only hang out with the best. So
yeah, we only get the best.
And speaking of the best, we also have Dustin here with us from Great Basin.
What's up, Dustin?
So I'm sure that you're aware that you won the unofficial hemp cup that we hosted here.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. It was awesome. Props. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
I can't wait till next year when people start catching on and there's more entries and it becomes more known. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that way there's more competition for sure.
Yeah, keep doing the good fight because you're winning that game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So tell us what you've got going on coming up this year. Tell us what you're busy doing. I know it's a little bit off season, but tell us what you do. Tell us what you have. I've seen some great pictures for an off season picture coming from you.
So actually our best growth have always come from the off season. During the season, we just throw them outside and let them go like everybody else does. But during the off season, we grow indoors. But I think so I'm Dustin Smith. First and foremost, I'm a patient. I have Chiari malformation, so my brain's coming out of the back of my skull, compressing my spinal cord, cutting off circulation in my brain. That's why I have joined the cannabis community. I'm disabled, working my way out of being on disability. I'm on a trial work period right now. During that trial work period, I've made some very awesome connections, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. We have the grow in Holden, pretty small, rather meager grow. We're working on another project, which I hope to talk today about, but turns out the MOU is not ready to be signed. This is a memorandum of understanding. This project will be worth millions. It'll involve hemp and, in the future, medical cannabis.
That's fantastic news.
So you're talking $10 to $20 million project that we're working on. It'll have geothermal and it'll be a world class facility. There will be nothing like it in the state of Utah. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So right now, without saying too much, we definitely intend to go into the THC market. That's where it's going. I'm also going to grow CBD as well because that's what works for me. I can't do the THC thing; makes my heart beat too fast. It's not compatible for me. I do a 1-to-1 most of the time, So,
yeah,
that's basically what I got going on. We got the Great Basin Hemp Co-op. We got several farmers on our team that we work hand in hand with, and we got 20 or 30 other farmers on the team that are just there for being buddy. You know, we help, we do group buys and get prices down so that way farmers can afford to farm a lot easier, if that makes sense.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Are you at the farm now?
No, I'm at my house. I actually went to the farm, but I came back. I was tired. I actually got tested for COVID yesterday, so I'm waiting on the results. So I'm trying not to be around people. So I just went out to the farm, watered my plants, and came back.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. We always say in this industry, you never have a day off. Those ladies need attention every single day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how sick you are. You got to go to work, otherwise the plants die.
Yep.
Yeah, and I noticed your ink. It looks like you need some of that OG Cannabis tattoo balm.
Send it.
Yeah.
I'll send you our beard balm too.
Yep. It's out for COA this week. We're going to have it registered in January, and it'll be on.
Surprise OGs is coming for you.
Yeah.
So what kind of products are you guys putting out? I know I seen your hats and your gear and stuff. Those are awesome. But
mostly we do topicals. I enjoy a topical. My daughter, the reason we started is my daughter has a spinal condition. She's been through 2 spinal fusions, and she suffers a lot of pain, a lot of neuropathy, and a lot of the
I feel that.
products that we've developed are in response to her.
Hardly approved and tested.
That's right. Yeah, and we're not trying to make products that are going to work for a little bit of time. We're not trying to make ineffective products. These were developed for my daughter, so they're very, very well developed, let's say. And so topicals a lot because of her age and what works for her pain is topicals a lot. We are moving into the edibles. We are moving into other things. But what we're launching this year, and especially at the beginning of this year, is going to be a line of topicals. And it's not just going to be your regular, ordinary salve that you get from everybody else. These are more luxury designed. So like just because it's medicine doesn't mean it can't be really smelling very good. It doesn't mean that it can't make you feel pretty. You know, these kind of things. A little bit luxury line.
The feedback that we have gotten so far on the products is phenomenal. So anybody who has tested them and liked them, thank you very much for your feedback.
Thank you, test monkeys.
Yes, we love the test monkeys. Appreciate you. We'll be sending you a special OG surprise. So thanks everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us on this fine Wednesday afternoon.
That's right. Got to have something to do on
Merry Christmas.
Yes.
So, hopefully the things that we got going on is going to help you with your edibles too. We were talking about, so like I told you previously before the video, we were talking about this lady reached out to me and she reached out to Senator Daw, and we are putting together a letter of edits, I guess, for the new bill that has been let out, and she's going to propose or send that out to him, and he's going to send that to legislature. Obviously, he's leaving office, but he still intends to help us fight it because what Cody James has done by his. So if you don't know who Cody James is the person in charge of UDAF. But what he's done is he's proposed a whole bunch of things, and we're waiting for somebody to pick up the bill and sponsor it. But as of right now, UDAF has put a bunch of proposals out that is going to destroy the industry. But if we can, we are going to do our best to get edibles and vapable flower at the very least back on the market.
Yeah.
So that's what you guys got going on with your cooking classes and stuff like that to help you get more out of that gray area back into mainstream.
We want to get into the green area.
That's right. And it's great that you guys are drafting that letter for the state senate. They need to hear from people who are actually being directly affected in there.
Yeah.
And like we've heard from a lot of patients.
Let us know what we can do to help.
Yeah.
So right now I'm collecting COAs from all the farmers. So if you have a farm, or if you are a processor, or if, like yourselves, have a shop, I need you to write me a letter of a testimonial about your experience dealing with UDAP and these new laws about them making you register every single product and every different flavor of every different product. And because if, like, for instance, if you have one product that has 10 different scents, you have to re-register every different scent at $325 a piece. when really you should just register the formulation and be able to add whatever scent or whatever food coloring you want, because that doesn't change the amount of cannabinoids in the product.
Exactly.
So we're trying to work on that. I got Robert Hill putting together a presentation with the COAs.
Okay.
So the COAs, he's going to make a scientific presentation about genetics and how they are, how it's genetically impossible to breed stable genetics in the time frame they want us to do it and remain total THC compliant. So
Yeah.
if you are like, let me pull this up so I can read it. They want it identifies as an unlawful act for a person to distribute, sell, market a product that exceeds acceptable hep THC levels. And what that means is your post harvest has to be at 0.3 or under. So when you're growing, about week 2 to week 3 is when you test. That's when you hit the 0.3 mark. Anything after that is hot. So when you're processing, you're making crude, think of it like you're concentrating it, right? So your THC levels by percentage by weight is going to skyrocket. Your CBD levels are going to skyrocket. Everything. So your crude oil would then be illegal. Flour in general would be illegal, just to produce flour. Anything over 2 weeks of flour will be illegal. It also says in there it's illegal to produce, market, distribute, sell, or use smokable flour, which is a bullshit. Sorry, my French, but it's a bullshit word. That smokable should never be in there in the first place. Smoking is a verb. It's not.
It's not an
Flour is
adjective.
flour. It doesn't. It's not. I mean, obviously, it describes an action, but really, the flour is flour, regardless if it's smoked or baked or turned into a tincture or whatever you decide to use it for. The flour, all of it's smokable. You could smoke the damn branches if you wanted to, and it's not advisable. You're going to get a bad headache, and it's going to taste like shit.
Here
You know
and
what I
there. Stem tea is pretty good every once in a while.
So we got the Utah Cannabis Association, I think, with Desiree Hennessy and Tom Paskett. They're working on their side of things. They got a few senators and things like that in their pocket that they're working towards. Hold on,
That's what we need
and
to
then we got
the money from all the farms and put it into the pockets of the politicians.
well, that's what they want us to do.
Yeah.
But
It would help us. It would help fight the good fight.
yeah, so and given this is all new to me, and I'm up until recently I was nobody, you know, and I kind of got past myself a little bit, you know, with my reputation, you know what I'm saying? But so things are happening quite fast for me. And then, oh, and also we have the Utah Vape Business Association working on this as well from their end, as they are obviously the biggest distributors in the state of CBD products. And they have all the smoke shops and all the vape shops and all these type of things that are working towards distribution end. So they're working their end with so they already have politicians and senators and these people in their back pockets because they tried to shut down the vape industry last year with that whole fiasco that happened with them. So they're going to use that same poll to try to help us. So that's Mike Berry. So if you want to reach out to the Vape Association, you got to reach out to Mike Berry. You want to reach out to the Utah Medical Cannabis Association or Utah Cannabis Association, whatever that is. You got to reach out to Desiree Hennessy or Tom Paskett. And then, yeah, you can reach out to me on the farm level with your COAs, and I can get those to Robert Hill. And then once Robert Hill's done with his stuff, we will send it to all these different parties going into that.
Awesome.
Into that letter. We'll send this copy with the letter to Senator Daw, and then we'll send it to each the Utah Cannabis Association and the Vape Association as well. So that way we can hit it from all sides. So basically what I am doing personally is I'm trying to bridge the gap between all these different associations and bring everybody together for a single hit. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. We're planning on reserving the Rotundra at the Capitol for a day. I'm looking for 2 or 3 other associations to help me block out 2-hour blocks at the Rotundra, and I'm planning a full day of action that's going to have different blocks focusing on patients, QMPs, processors, growers, retailers, and like really hit, because I don't even think anybody on the Hill has any idea of the implication and the impact that these actions are going to do dominoes down the line.
Mm-hmm.
All of
so another thing we're and it obviously it doesn't work for everybody because some people have plants in the ground right now, but we are trying to wait and have all the farmers. If you have a farm, you should call UDAF and tell them you're not going to play the game if you don't know the rules. Yeah, you as a farmer have the right to say that. You call them and you tell UDAF that if they don't knock it off, you are not going to renew your license, and in turn, that puts their jobs in jeopardy. If their jobs and their money are in jeopardy, that makes them, it changes everything, don't it? So we're going to work that end as well. The protest thing is always on the table. We definitely don't want to have any kind of violence or any kind of bring any kind of negativity back to what we're doing. But at the same time, the protesting is always on the table, and we definitely don't want to go that route. If we can fix it without that happening, then that's good. I have ABC4 News and Fox 13 on standby. The moment that there will be a sponsor to the bill, it is going to hit the news. It's going to be on the news, and we are going to televise the hell out of this in any shape and form we can.
As much as we can.
Yeah.
Do it whatever we can. Whatever you need us to do.
So the Rotunda thing, that's awesome. If I can make it out, I will. Health permitting, some days I can't even get out of bed. Other days I'm up and blasting off, So if there's anything that I can do to help you guys on your end or anybody else that wants to reach out to me, we can work it out. And it isn't just about me, and it's not just about any single farm. It's about us as an industry right now, because if in weeks to come, there might not be an industry. So, we gotta push forward and make, and there's going to be a lot of strategic, tactical things going on right now in getting all this done. And a lot of it I don't even understand, because this is, like I said, this is my very first time ever even delving into politics or anything like that. And I imagine it's going to be an every year thing that somebody's going to try and be that one person that wants to be an asshole,
You always have to defend your rights. Always have to defend your rights. It kind
So,
of reminds
I mean,
me I was in California in Lake County, and the county there was changing the laws every meeting. Every meeting they had, they were changing the rules and regulations, and then go rounding up all the people who were in violation. Like if your fence wasn't long enough, if you exceeded the girth of this, and then so every few weeks they were rounding people up. And governments are like that, they do this, but like where the conflict of interest, where I was really upset about, is that the only bail bondsman in the entire county was the county commissioner's wife. Riddle me that.
That's
a conflict of interest, isn't it?
Yeah, I made a stink on that one. Big stink. Commissioner ended up having to resign. But
Sarah fights the good fights, you guys.
There are times when I put my foot down, and I will put
Well, if you want to do some research and see if there's any of those kind of situations going on that we could exploit, by all means.
There are incidents happening all over the country which would benefit.
So I do know that there is conflict of interest in the industry right now for sure, and I do know that they just barely, and I have to be really careful how I word things, because my partners get upset when I do tend to go off sometimes, but there has been scandals already in this industry, especially on the medical side, and we got to figure out some way to get past that and make sure it doesn't continue to happen. What I personally like to see, and I don't know if everybody else agrees with me, and I'm sure they will though, is we need to put some kind of checks and balances in for the UDAF, where they can only implement laws at the beginning of the year before the season starts. They can only implement fees, because last year, halfway through the season, they implemented a bunch of fees for testing and $65 an hour to come out. So I put a small greenhouse in my backyard with 40 plants with 6 different strains, so I could see which strain I like the best. and there's only a couple plants of each strain. And I had to pay over $400 to test. And I was, they were so tight in there, packed in there, I barely got a pound or two each plant. And $400, that's a good portion of the product, when you only have that much plants and you're doing it for research purposes, and you get screwed because it costs you $500 to get the license and $65 an hour to have them come test. By the time you're done, you didn't make anything off of it other than knowledge, of course. That's invaluable, but it still sucks because I was hoping I'd at least make my money back and be able to learn, but I didn't make my money back, and got some great product out of it though. It worked out. But
Oh yeah, you
Some
did.
really good product.
We tried and approved.
So yeah, and I don't claim to be the best grower in the world either. There are growers in Utah that are just as good, if not better. Obviously Frado's one of them. And me and him don't always see eye to eye, but you got to give credit when it's due. He is a great grower. So, but and then there's those guys up in Park City that are doing good things, and there's some guys in what's that, Heber, that got some indoor grows that are doing really good things. There's the Spanish Fork grow there by the temple. They had some decent flower come out of theirs, a little seedy, and then Rustin over there to Richfield, he's got some good product too. But
definitely, and we do have a resource of really great growers in Utah. I think that they're just asking them to operate with one hand tied behind their back.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
We would have a flourishing industry here. There's no reason why we shouldn't have a really incredible industry in this state. And
well, 3 years ago it was on the news, and they were saying that we were going to be the best in the country, and now we can't even operate.
We can't even operate because of the legislation. So it's so important. It's so important right now in the community that, especially coming forward as a united community that can work together. That's the most important thing we need to present. Putting aside differences, working towards that common goal. Because if everybody's coming out and being like, well, don't listen to them and don't work with them and blah, 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 and my opinion's the best and I'm the best grower. I think that what you just said in admitting that, there are some really great people in the industry and nobody has to be crowned the best. Okay. We're all sitting at the same table and we can look around and we can say they have more than me, or we can say, does everybody have enough? And
you can be the best one year, but the next year you're not going to be, because somebody else is going to step the game up, and it's going to go back and forth. So it's never going to be one-sided the whole way. I won the hemp cup this year, but next year there's going to be more entries and more people, and it's going to be harder, And I got to tell you that this last harvest I got wasn't as good as my first one that the Hawaiian haze came from. So it might not happen. You just never know. So.
Yep. Well, and that's the fun part. That's the part of the gamble and risk of being in this industry is from year to year. It's going to be different from harvest to harvest.
Yep.
So keeps you on your toes, if nothing else.
Yeah. So on our first grow, we had a whole bunch of spider mites, and we took care of those with some ladybugs. With the second grow, we had the aphids got me good, and we had some russet mite problems too on some of my plants. So even some of the best growers, they have pest problems. We have other things, and obviously I passed Crispon's pesticides and all these things. There was a lot of talk about drama, but everybody has their problems when growing. If anybody tells you that they are the best and they know everything, or that they don't have problems, they're full of shit. That no grow goes 100% as planned. And it's a struggle from the moment you put that seed in the ground to the moment you harvest. And even after you harvest, I still have hundreds of pounds that I haven't even finished trimming yet,
Yeah.
And it's hard when you only have a couple guys. We did the co-op thing, and we sent all of our guys to these other farms to help the other farms. And we ended up kicking our own ass because we didn't have anybody there to help us at the end, So things come and go, and it works out, but I don't know. I just hope we can get through to these legislatures so that way we can have an industry next year. And, I hope that nobody goes out and foolishly applies for a license and gets their license before they know what's going to happen, because I don't think that's the smart move. Even if you do plan on growing this year, you should still wait and hold it off and make it, make your voice heard.
Yeah,
I
I
completely
agree. Yeah.
Well, Dustin, thank you so much for your insight
Yeah.
today. It's been our pleasure talking to you and like seeing the common goal and the ways that we can support each other. That's awesome. I'm so excited. I'll be sending you our COAs as soon as we get them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, count us in for the COAs. They will be at your mailbox.
For sure. Hell yeah. So, yeah, if anybody that's watching this is a farmer or a processor, or you are even in the industry at all, reach out. My email is Dustin, DUSTIN 7434 @gmail. You can send it to me there. You can hit me up on Instagram. I'm the Hemp Don on Instagram, or Dustin Smith on Facebook, or Utah Hemp Don on Facebook. We also have a retail type website. It's called thehempdon.com, where you can get pre-rolls and flour and everything. I'll probably end up putting some of the Hawaiian haze. I don't have that much left of it. Most of it will probably end up going to Chris Fonts. We haven't decided what we're doing with it. I actually didn't even intend on entering that one. Ironically, that was just something I threw in extra, and she threw it in the mix. So that was kind of cool. I just threw a quarter pound of it out there because I only had a pound left, so I didn't think it would matter, and that seemed to be the one everybody liked. But
Well, we are so shared.
Yeah.
That was a fun
And
night.
thank you, OGs, for tuning in and watching us today. Merry Christmas.
Merry
to each
Christmas,
one of
everybody.
you. Happy holidays. Kevin, thanks again. I hope you enjoyed your first live experience with us.
I can tell what I took away from it. It's obvious
please.
passion. I mean, on the growing side of it, there's so many layers that I wasn't aware of, and
I'm still learning every day, and I'm just barely scratching the surface, I think.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Always keep that too. It's the best thing that can help you grow in life.
exactly.
A willingness to learn.
Sarah and Carly, like I said, they really, you got to trust and love their instincts, and I will do that moving forward. So thanks for inviting me today.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week.
Yep.
And we'll do the free drawing. So
like, share, comment.
Yeah,
get on the wheel. We'll give you some free stuff.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.
See you.
Keep it real.